the NFL top quarterbacks list, because that came out. And shout out to Jeremy Fowler. He, I think, surveyed a bunch of coaches and executives and asked who they felt the top quarterbacks were in the league. And starting at 10, you have Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels at number 5, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. Again, these lists are for talking purposes. These lists are for controversy. But a couple things stood out about this list. One, I think it is incredibly crazy how much of a gap there is from the top 4 to the rest. Like, how much of a gap there is when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I know the next is Jaden Daniels. And again, as a Commanders fan, I think there is a ginormous gap between those top 4 and the rest. I think Jaden Daniels has a chance to be up there, but he's not right now. And I don't know if it's ever really been like that in the league. A gap that wide that it's like you have the top 4, then you have everybody else, and everybody else is quite far. And no offense to anybody, but it's just true. Even in this list, because we're going to talk about the ranking, but even in this list, how close do you think, and I'm a Commanders fan, I want you to remember this, how close do you think Jaden Daniels is to Lamar Jackson? Or how close do you think Jaden Daniels is to Joe Burrow or Josh Allen? Like, come on. Josh Allen, who you can believe what you want and feel how you want. He did just win an MVP last year. The gap between the top 4 and the rest is seismic. Grand Canyon epic. And it's crazy. Now, we get to the top 4. All right. Patrick Mahomes 1, Josh Allen 2, Joe Burrow 3, Lamar Jackson 4. My question is this. It goes back to the list we just talked about. What is the criteria? Because in what criteria, in what world, in what metric are you looking that says that Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson? Are you talking about the numbers? Because Lamar Jackson has those too. Are you talking about the head-to-head? Because Lamar Jackson has those too. Are you talking about playoff success? Because Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl. When did Joe Burrow go to that Super Bowl? 2021? I think 2021 he went to that Super Bowl and hasn't been back since. In fact, now I'm thinking about it, I don't think he's won a playoff game since 2022. On top of that, he's the only quarterback in the top 4 that, ironically, didn't make the playoffs last year. Now, yes, I do think a lot of that was on the defense, but still, what metric are you going off of to makes you think that Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson right now? I get Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I get it. If you want to say he's number 3, cool. If you want to prop Josh Allen up because of the talent that he had last year, that obviously wasn't on the same level as someone like Lamar Jackson had, I get it. And on top of that, Josh Allen beat the Ravens in the playoffs. I get it. Josh Allen won the MVP. I get it. So, excuse me, I may feel that Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen. That's my feeling. And I would understand, and I understand the argument in saying that Josh Allen is better than Lamar Jackson. I understand that. I cannot, for the life of me, understand how people think Joe Burrow, who, again, is great, is on the same level as Lamar Jackson. Because when you hear someone when you hear someone talk about Lamar Jackson, what they usually say is, "What have you done for me lately?" What has Lamar Jackson done for me lately? Well, he did not last year, but the year before, he was in the AFC Championship. Last year, led the Ravens to, I think, second in the AFC, or second in the AFC, third in the AFC. That's important. Also a two-time MVP. Should have been 3 in my opinion, but set a bunch. In fact, what record did he set last year? Set a bunch of records. Became the first player in NFL history with 40 passing touchdowns and 4 or fewer interceptions. Had 10-1 touchdown interception ratio and a 74.4 winning percentage. And he also is the leader in rushing. So, He also led the league last year in QBR, 77.3. Yards per dropback, 8.3. And set a career high in passing touchdowns, 41. And passing yards, 4,172. And yards per attempt, 8.8. And a touchdown to interception ratio. Oh, actually, his top EPA was 160.6, more than 16 points higher than any other quarterback. How can you tell me that Joe Burrow is better than Lamar Jackson? That's all I'm saying. I know Joe Burrow had a great, I think he led the league in passing yards last year, maybe. But they didn't make the playoffs. He also had more interceptions than Lamar Jackson. So, another thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is, when is potential over? I know that sounds crazy, but when do we stop grading or basing someone off of their quote-unquote potential? Joe Burrow's in that list too, but the main person that I'm looking at, and it hurts my heart because he's an Oregon alum. Every time we talk about Justin Herbert, we talk about his talent, and we talk about stuff that he did his rookie year. I understand, and the stat that always goes around is he has 2,093 career passing yards, which is the most in NFL through 5 seasons. Cool. He also is 0-2 in the playoffs. And I would argue that he is the main reason why his team lost those 2 games in the playoffs. Talking about against the Jaguars, where they were up huge in the second at halftime and blew a 20-plus point lead to Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, and then threw as many interceptions in one game against the Texans last year than he threw the entire year. I understand if we're talking about talent. I get it. But at some point, success and talent have to meet. That's what they talk about with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. It's like, okay, Josh Allen just won an MVP last year. Lamar Jackson has 2. They're widely considered top quarterbacks, when are they going to get over the hump and beat Patrick Mahomes or win a Super Bowl? Obviously, I'm not putting him in that category, but when is Justin Herbert going to win a playoff game? When is Justin Herbert's talent going to meet the opportunity? Like, when is Justin Herbert's talent going to shine outside of meaningless games? When is Justin Herbert going? Again, I know the most passing yards in the first 5 years in NFL. Cool. He's still 0-2 in the playoffs. On top of that, the man, he's good. I get it. And I'm not, talent-wise, he's great. Pure talent, but again, when talent has to meet progress, like there's no way, in my opinion, if we're just talking about sheer talent, cool. But if we're talking about everything, there's no way that Justin Herbert and Jared Goff, might I add, should be above Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl. MVP, might I add. I think that there are some flaws in his game, but he has something that they don't. Oh, man.
Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.